and welcome to the Old Hombre podcast with your host, Mense Morera and
Andrew. I'm not going to say my name, it's a mouthful, my full name.
You're in that
I've
mood,
been saying
Andrew.
it all day.
All right. Well, we are now coming into episode 12. Oh
12?
my goodness me. Who would have thought it, eh? Who would have thought
Yeah,
it?
3 more to go and I'm officially a content creator.
But this is it. This is it. By the way, audience, you know when we talk about incremental changes, this time Andrew has invested in a flashy mic. Hopefully this doesn't...
Menzies invested and let me borrow it.
What's mine is yours.
My 2 daughters said, Dad, what would you like for Christmas? And straight away, a mic for the podcast, please.
Okay, well, whatever. What's mine is yours. It's all good.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Old Hombre podcast. This is a podcast about business, trends and analysis, work life and the beyond, which we call retirement and pensions and all of that good stuff. And boy, I think we've got an interesting episode today. Funnily enough, Andrew, it hasn't taken us that long to prep for this one. Unfortunately,
I think about 3 minutes. It took me longer to
yeah, well, there's so much to talk.
up.
There seems to be a lot going on right now. But let's start in standard fashion. So, Andrew, how has your week been so far?
It's been a mixed bag this week. On the plus side, I got my Temu delivery.
Woo! Wait, hold on. Let's get that chair over the line again. God bless the Chinese. I've never said anything wrong about Temu before, so...
No. Otherwise, cool. Because if you do, you know what happens to their share price.
Well, this is... All right, so talk to us. What's going on with the Temu?
Well, I got my delivery, and you know what? It didn't come late. It came within the specified time, but within a day, they sent me some vouchers, 30% off, etc., to keep me going.
So what did you buy, Andrew? I mean, first of all.
So I bought a mixed bag, and unfortunately, due to the fact that I'm leaving, we're moving next week, my wife has just packed everything away. But I did 2 orders, right? So the first one was a mishmash. So I ordered, for some reason, 2 ear and nose trimmers. I don't know why. Right?
We're at that age, Andrew. This is the Old Hombre podcast, so a lot of millions of our followers are going to be caring about.
Well, to be honest with you, Menzi, the 2 were slightly different in the fact that one was battery operated.
Yep.
Yeah. £1.15, and the other one
the
was
battery.
rechargeable.
The battery?
No, for the actual thing.
Oh my God! All right.
And the other one was
rechargeable. Are you just
going
to burn your house down or some?
Oh, mate, honestly, £1.15 for battery and £1.78 for rechargeable battery. As I said, I ordered 2. Both work perfectly. Don't get me wrong; they don't exactly, ooze with quality, but they both work perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I bought you a gift. As I said, I mentioned I bought you a gift. And one thing I've learned from Temu is read the description. Don't just look at the photo. I thought I was ordering a nice little neon sign that you could put on your wall that says on air. So when, it's there for when we do our...
So did you end up getting a picture of the sign?
That's exactly what I got.
No!
That's exactly what I got. But, to be fair, if I'd have read the description, it does say a picture of a sign.
You can imagine. You can imagine how many people have fallen victim to that one. Oh my God! Wait, hold on. You're gonna get it.
What do you think I am, mate? Some sort of Wally.
Oh, I didn't even have to give the intro to the Wally segment of the week.
No.
Wow!
But
so this is just like the croissant situation.
It's still quite nice. You can still put it on the wall. It's like a metal disc. It's metal. It's painted, and it's like you can put it on the wall. As I say, Wally, what did I expect? A neon sign for £3? No.
You got nose hair trimmers. Tell us about the other thing that I saw you using.
That was the one that I'm the most proud of. So I ordered 2 deliveries. The first delivery was all mishmash bits and pieces. And then the second delivery, I ordered a projector. All right. And my thinking behind that is that, there's got a lot of white walls.
Yeah.
And especially like in the bedroom or in where I'm working, I don't want to put a TV. So I thought, you know what? Let's get a projector, right? £39, and I tell you what, for £39, worth every single penny.
And by the way, audience, I don't know how I saw this. I think I called Andrew on WhatsApp, and I saw the image, and it was brilliant. I'm not going to lie to you. I would be watching porn on that day and night. No.
Well, it's got built-in apps, so it's got Netflix built in. You just sign in.
Wow.
It's got Disney built in. You just sign in. YouTube built in, and then it's got a HDMI cable, so you can connect a laptop. You can even connect your phone to it wirelessly, and whatever's on your phone, you can project. So for £39, I don't know how long it's going to last, right? It's even got a little earphone socket, so you can, watch privately and listen privately, etc.
Incredible. Well, you know what, Andrew? For 39 quid, anyone would turn a blind eye to the fact that it was probably made by a 9-year-old Cambodian. Incredible.
Probably.
Incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is terrible.
But so Temu, a bit of a mismatch. Read the descriptions. Yeah. If you think you're buying a neon sign for £3 and you get a picture of one, it's your own fault.
Yeah, it's your own fault. It is. Yeah.
All
right. Well, that's interesting.
Unfortunately, not as good as a review as that Chinese guy with all of his, acrobatics and whatever. But I thought I'd, update you and update, the one or two people that are watching.
Well, talking about that, thank you so much to the 20 people that carry on clicking on our videos. I'm actually quite proud of that. I thought it was just going to be about 4 geezers, of which we knew that would watch it. So yeah, really, really happy about that. Thank you. And if you want to be acknowledged, just write a comment, and we'll definitely.
Just write a comment.
Not the people that we know, though. Not the people that we know. We're not going to acknowledge you.
No.
Actual strangers.
And you know what? If you write a comment and or you feel strongly about something we've said, you may say, well, you're a bunch of Wollies. We'd love to have you on.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to business. Because
hang on. Before we do that, I know we've got a lot of exciting things to do, but that was just a part of my week. I'd just like to say the negative side of this week, right? So I've mentioned it 100 times. I started a new job. I was told to go all the way to blooming Heathrow, 3 hours in the car to do a presentation. I've only just learnt what the product is, and I'm presenting to a bunch of CISOs, right?
Cyber, what's it? Chief Information Security Officer.
Chief Information Security Officers about cyber security and this, that, and the other. I pride myself in being able to wing it a little bit and, put a little bit of humour in, etc. Mency, what's that thing in the cowboy films where
Tumbleweed.
They just sat there staring at me, not one question being asked. I thought, fair enough. I haven't been doing it too long. A lot of the people that are here are supposed to be, relevant to us, and they weren't. So, maybe it wasn't relevant for their roles. I get it. So I'm pretty disappointed in myself. And then we have a break, and I'm going to get a coffee. I swear to you, and I'm not trying to big myself up, I had about 10 or 12 people saying, your presentation was fantastic. I really understood what you guys are doing. Can we have a chat later, etc., etc.
That's not bad.
Yeah. No, but I'm thinking, well, bloody hell, why didn't you say that while I was presenting or at the end? And,
mate, I'd rather that, than the inverse of that, which has happened to me, where everyone's like, ha, and then after it's like, I don't want to talk to you. Mate, I'd rather have that. So you know what? Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you. Honestly,
I wanted to impress the boss.
Oh, sod the boss, man. What really matters is pipe gen. Sod that, man. It's
that was my thing. But my biggest thing today was, I listen to radio. Because anybody that hears my music collection will just go, what the hell? Labour Party, right? And maybe this is a whole different session, right?
We said we wouldn't discuss politics on this podcast.
I know, but they've been. It just upset me. They've been in power for 4 months, Vincy. 4 months, right? Job losses increased. UK debt today, right? A report. UK debt has increased, right? Inflation has increased. National insurance increased. The only thing that has decreased is their defence spending, because they've now got rid of £500,000 worth of...
Well, didn't we just pump a load of missiles into Russia again?
Yeah. We sent all our new stuff into Ukraine and to Russia to use, and we're lumbered with a load of old soot that we have to decommission, right? And there's no replacement. And I just think, you know what? It made me angry, and I know we're not supposed to, but it just made me angry.
Okay. Well, listen,
it was just
it seems
basically
like you had.
they've lied. They lied from day one.
Well, yeah, but
that's my rant over.
We knew that. But anyway, yeah. Politics aside, yeah, you had a smashing week, fantastic talk, and a good and about 70% hit rate on the Temu products. So that's brilliant. All right. Yeah. Well, let's get to business. Well, actually, no. Let's start off with Insta Wally. I've only got one Insta Wally, and it's not even an Insta Wally. It's just a Wally. Yeah. Right.
What do you think I am, mate?
Okay.
Some sort of Wally.
And I think this one's going to take a bit of time to review, actually. So let's start getting into it. So, Andrew, whilst I'm kind of loading up the screen and all of that jazz, right?
Yeah.
This week, or today, in fact, there has been something that a company has done that has literally made everyone go bananas on LinkedIn, on everything, right? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to find. Oh my God, hold on. I'm trying to find.
Are you talking about Jaguar?
I am talking about Jaguar Land Rover. So, by the way, apparently the the head of Tata, right? Ended up what's the word? He died, didn't he? The Tata owner, and it's almost as if they were waiting for him to die in order to get this move out, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Pause. Just pause a second because I'm gonna find this window. I've lost a window that allows me to share the video.
Well,
go on, Andrew.
So while you're doing that, right? So let me give you my view of Jaguar, right?
Okay, yeah. Give some background on how you feel about Jaguar first.
Yeah. So Jaguar, the brand, right? So it's a British heritage. I know it's not owned by a UK. It's not a UK company anymore, and it's gone through some rough times. But it is a British heritage. You know, from the motorsport days to the days of the British monarchy using Jaguar. You know, you saw the Jaguar emblem in steel or whatever on the bonnet. You know, you'd get into a Jaguar and it was famous for luxury, for ride quality, for walnut dashes. You know, it was the quintessential car.
Wasn't one of the Jaguar cars in the 007 movies as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, not only in the 007 movies, but, you know, any 1960s, 70s, 80s crime series, the getaway car was always a Jag.
Right.
Right.
So with that in mind, and thank you for giving the audience a background whilst I was frantically trying to find the thing. Let's see what Jaguar has done today, right? Okay. So Jaguar has so they waited for, I think it's the Ansari the Tata family. They waited for this. I don't know if this is, I don't know. Anyway, look at their rebrand. They've gone to this. So I know it's really, really, really bad. And it goes further than that, Andrew, right? So check this video out.
Mate, that logo...
Hold on.
Sorry. Oh, my God. It's the Budweiser thing all over again, isn't it? Oh, no. You know what? They just ruined the brand. They've ruined it.
Andrew, honestly, if an alien were to come into, you know, our atmosphere and say, right, what is this brand for? What do you think? Like, what's the angle here, Andrew? What's the angle?
Do you know
here,
what? I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but it looks like a ladies' product to me.
A ladies' product. Andrew, I'm sorry.
Not a ladies' cover.
I'm gonna dare to say
a ladies' product.
What do you mean? Go on, expand.
No, it looks like either a perfume or something that they'd wear, you know, once a month. Sorry for being crude. It looks like something that it's designed for that sort of thing. It does not say this is a car with hundreds of years of heritage. right?
Andrew,
I mean, look at the new XKs.
I think you're being
the
really,
XK,
really nice.
you'd start the engine, and the neighbours would complain because their windows are shaking. And you look out the window, and you see this on the car. Come on.
I mean, Andrew, I think you're being extremely, extremely generous, I would say. I would liken this to an advert for Pride Month. Like this looks.
Look, the advert certainly is, yes.
This looks like, and again, I've got no problem with Pride Month. Yeah, there's a space for it, all of that good stuff, right? But Andrew, this is honestly, this looks like some asexual, and I know that sounds crazy, right? I don't like, again, I don't want to get into a homophobic phase because that's not really what I'm about, right? But genuinely, this has got woke left undertones all over it, mate.
No, there's no undertones, mate. There's no undertones.
Like I just don't understand what they were genuinely going for here, mate. Help me.
I'm lost for words. I am lost for words. Let me. I don't understand it. I don't understand who thought of it. I don't understand who signed it off. Somebody, Mency, saw that and said, "Yeah, let's go with that," and signed it off.
It's just incredible, and I just don't really understand. Like, so I was speaking to a. Just so that you know, I've in the past I've actually tried to sell software to Jaguar, right? And yeah, I think that's about as far as I can really go around Jaguar and my experiences directly with them. But one thing that I did learn is that, and sorry, I'm just trying to find an image of just how badly people are reacting to this, right?
Well, I've just sent you an image on WhatsApp on what I would class as a Jaguar.
Right.
And you tell me if that logo fits anything like that.
Right, we're gonna get to that, but yeah. So basically, the you know what I've heard from Jaguar and what I've read from the annual report, because I was in the I was in a sales cycle with them about less than a year ago. Jaguar was really working towards being a software company that happens to deliver cars, right? So the software, it's meant to be a personal software experience that is then supported by, cars. And maybe that's the angle here, but the issue here is that I see is just the amount of alienation that this particular campaign is causing. It makes absolute. It's just an absolute contradiction to what they're actually about and what their customer base is about too. So look at this Jaguar. So I'm gonna share this with you. Well, actually, Andrew, you've seen the image. I'm sharing right now, Andrew, the image that you shared of the Jaguar. This is what a classic Jaguar looks like.
Yeah.
How can you?
And
go
do you know
from
what the
this
sad thing is? I don't know if you're
this?
aware, Mency, but John Prescott died last night.
Right.
John Prescott, for those that you don't know, he was a very down-to-earth Northern Labour MP. I think he's been the longest-serving deputy MP of all time.
Right.
Big bloke. Yeah, he's famous for smacking a protester who threw an egg at him. Right. No-nonsense Yorkshireman type guy. And he was famous for owning 2 Jaguars, and they used to call him 2 Jags.
Right.
If he saw that now, he would go ballistic.
How can you go from this amazing branding that you're seeing right here to that piece of crap branding?
Well, where's the Jaguar? Where's the animal, the Jaguar, that's been synonymous with that brand since its foundation, in different forms, either a steel thing on the like a bonnet ornament or a round badge with a Jaguar growling at you. It's like saying to Ferrari, "I'll get rid of the horse and let's have a cupcake or a sausage roll."
It's just mad. So Andrew,
it's
crazy. I want you to see this. So I've WhatsApped it to you. Yeah. This is what a lady wrote on LinkedIn. Say what you want about the Jaguar rebrand. I for one will now exclusively be buying my vibrators online from them.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad a lady said that.
And it's coming from a lady. Right?
I was that far away from saying that's what it reminds me of, but I didn't want to be crude.
These have to be the biggest Wollies ever.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
and it says if Jaguar like this article, right? This is by Marketing Week, yeah. So there you go. It's just a load of marketing people. They're saying the following, right? So they're saying the team should have reasserted that the Jaguar that Jaguar is a very British brand, which is what you've just said, right? It's a luxury opportunity lost. Absolutely. Talking about breaking molds. I mean, this is too late. This may have worked in the year 2000 when, you know, this whole woke culture, but now with like Trump and with all these conservative governments coming back, and you know a lot, well, obviously not in the UK, but a lot of people are just like, look, I'm done with all of this, right? Can we just stick to the very basics of what we're trying to do, right? And the truth is this: if Jaguar wants to be a proper luxury brand, it needs to stop worrying about what generic luxury is and simply learn to be be very specific. Specifically, and it's true. This is just, it's horrendous, Andrew. And you know what? I'm actually going to go onto the Jaguar website, because I was actually having a look at this myself today. So if you just bear me 1 second, Jaguar, right? Let's have a look at this. I'm going to share this with you, Andrew, so you can see it too. Let's have a look where it is. Right, so... Oh my God, I'm all over the place with this screen sharing thing today. Yes, here we go. Right, Andrew, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly...
I mean, look at the juxtaposition on this. Right? And... you know, if we go to vehicles, look at these vehicles. How do these vehicles fit in with that brand?
I mean, look at the badge there. Look at that badge. Yeah. There's a Jaguar there on the grille, right? And that's evolved over the years, Bensi. But can I just ask you a really simple question? And I'm no marketeer at all, yeah? The whole point of brands is about recognition, right? Yeah. If you look at, I don't know, the Nike tick, you know, it doesn't have to say Nike. You just see the tick, you know it's Nike.
Yeah.
You see the prancing horses, you know it's Ferrari. You know, and I could go on and on and on. It's about having a brand that's globally recognizable.
Yeah.
And that's where they got to. Yeah, that is where they got to. And then all of a sudden they come out with that crap. I don't get it. I just do not get it. What I don't get is somebody signed off on it. Yeah, there's one person who, you know, I don't know, maybe smoked something that day. I have no idea. But surely a board of people have looked at that and gone, yeah, that's the way we're going to go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to ruin 100 years of brand recognition and history and legacy, and we're going to go with what looks like, you know, a vape store, or like that lady said, she's going to get her, you know, little toys from Jaguar now.
Yeah, it's just really bizarre. But yeah, they get. I don't even want to I don't even want to ruin this segment by bringing any other Wollies of the week. This is the,
no. This is the Wollie of the month.
This is the best way to ruin the little bit of credibility you had in the market, in my opinion. And you know, let's just go to Jaguar. Actually, no, it's Tartar, isn't it? Yeah, so I can't even check how much, you know. But yeah, it's actually pretty sad, because the UK, as we know, we don't like to be doom and gloom. We want the UK economy to be thriving because we participate in it. And I just think, what a bad time to go the wrong direction. It's such a strong company. And yeah, I'm pretty sad with this, like, beyond just calling them a Wollie of the week. And I hope it works out for them. I hope I am horrendously wrong about this. I hope that there's a wave.
People just should go, now, what are you playing in? Get rid of that, sack the person, go back to something. Yeah, maybe update the logo a little bit, make it, you know, now 21st
not this
century.
though, not this. This is just pink. This is still a man's car.
The font, Bensi, the font.
It's just, yeah, it's really bad. But yeah, really sad day for branding, and I think a pretty sad day for Britishness as a
Yeah.
brand. So yeah,
Oh, do you know what? I don't know if he's. I would love to hear Jeremy Clarkson's comments on this
yeah. I mean,
because
yeah. I mean, he's
he,
quite.
you know, he says things like there's things that he says which I agree with. I don't agree with everything he says, but you know, if you're a lover of cars, you should own a Jag and you should own an Italian car, Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Those are the two cars, and he says there's a certain person that drives a Jag. He's the person that goes into the pub and always gets away with not buying a drink because he owns a Jag.
Yeah.
And all this sort of stuff. We're so far away from that now. So far away from that.
Yeah, it's horrendous. All right, well,
Yeah.
on that low note, let's go into our business deep dive. So Andrew, you brought something to my attention. I think towards the end of last week, and it's almost a continuation of our research into ASOS and Boohoo, and we didn't plan it. It just happened to have popped up, right? And I'm very interested. Well, you sent it to me. I said, "Oh, hold your horses! Don't tell me what you think about it. Save it for the podcast." Right. So now let's talk about the following. So let me just go into the right screen. Right. So ASOS is criticized for a 43% executive pay rise. Right, Andrew. Tell me, why did you share this with me, and what's your thoughts? Actually, in fact, let's maybe read a little bit more about it. So remember Jose, my cousin Jose, Jose Antonio Ramos Calamonte, who was appointed CEO in 2022. Good, we're fact checked. Earned 1.17 million for the year to the 1st of September. And up. He's up from So he's now on 1.17, right?
Yeah.
Which is up from 814,000 in 2023. Right.
Yeah.
This included an annual salary of 716,000 and 376,801 in bonus payments. So
right. So let's pause there for a second, if you don't mind. Bonus payments. Forget the salary. Bonus payments, right? Lindsay, do we get bonus payments for failing target? Do we get bonus payments for not achieving pipeline? Do we get what is a bonus payment? A bonus payment for me, and if I may be stupid, is a reward for doing something well. Yeah. Do you know what? You've done this really well. Pat on the back. Here's your bonus. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And from what we've been discussing over the last week or two, when we've dug a little deeper into Boohoo and ASOS, there's no doing well. There's nothing positive that we've managed to uncover, unless we're completely blind and we've missed something. But you tell me.
Right. Well, that's why I'm making it my main business deep dive, and I'll explain. Okay. So when you sent this to me, immediately I knew how you were going to feel. I said, okay, Andrew's going to be really angry at this, especially with all the deep dive we did and the challenges that the business have. I'm also saying, I also thought to myself, and the biggest irony around this is going to be the fact that literally the whole of the accounts that we looked through was all about cost savings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a massive irony, and the timing around this is horrible. But then I thought to myself, hold your horses, Mense. Right? Let's really have a deep dive into whether or not this is what let's be devil's advocate is basically what I said to myself, right? But before we get into that, this is a sentiment of a lot of the press coverage. It's staggering somebody can be so well rewarded for such spectacular failure. Right? It's nauseating to see fat cat ASOS bosses trousering a fortune while the share price tanks and workers lose their jobs. Okay, all right, cool. So you agree with this, Andrew, right?
Well, there's something about this that stinks completely, right? I call this the football manager syndrome, right? The Sam Allardyce syndrome.
Okay.
Right, and I'll explain you very quickly. If you're not into football, Sam Allardyce used to manage a football team called Bolton. He had one good season, right? And then all of a sudden, the world and their mother wanted Sam Allardyce to manage them, right? And he failed spectacularly each and every time. Yet he would walk away with hundreds of thousands of pounds in payments because that's what is in his contract, right?
Right.
One team got relegated, yet they still had to lay out millions, right? And I'm just thinking, you failed miserably, yeah? And shame on you for even not only accepting this increase, but I think there was a report somewhere where he said that he deserves it. While workers on minimum wage on the shop floor on their feet all day are losing their jobs. I think it's disgraceful.
Okay, interesting. So you're echoing very much. So I found it got me thinking. Okay, let's see what the disputes are online. So I'm actually going to show a video where a congresswoman in the US grilled the CEO of JP Morgan, right?
Yeah.
And I want you to watch this because it echoes your sentiments. And then I'm going to put a rebuttal in because I've read now a bit into CEO compensation schemes. I'll be honest with you, it never. So when going back to annual accounts, right? When we're reading annual accounts, there's a massive governance section. I tend to skip that. Because really and truly, I'm a salesman, and when I go into selling, I just want to understand the business model, the compensation schemes, who's on the chair, all of that type of stuff. It doesn't necessarily help me in my day-to-day job. However, if you want to understand a business and what direction it's likely to go in, CEO compensation and the chair and C-level compensation really does drive the direction of a company. So if you're going to invest in the company and own the stock, you must read the governance section, no matter how boring it is. So anyway, this interview right now, it was 5 years ago, but it echoes this, and I want to get your thoughts on this. So I'm going to just share the right screen. Right, okay, cool. So here we go.
Was this woman had, and I apologize, you're going to need to follow orally. She had $2,425 a month. She read.
So she's now describing one of the workers of JP Morgan, right?
Yeah.
So one-bedroom apartment. She and her daughter sleep together in the same room. In Irvine, California, that average one-bedroom apartment is going to be $1,600. She spends $100 on utilities. Take away the $1,700, and she has net $725. She's like me. She drives a 2008 minivan and has gas. $400 for car, expenses, and gas, net $325. The Department of Agriculture says a low-cost food budget, that is ramen noodles, a low food budget is $400. That leaves her $77 in the red. She has a Cricket cell phone, the cheapest cell phone she can get for $40. She's in the red $100.
So she's listing through all this. By the way, Andrew, I can hear some background noise. I don't know if you got the telly on or something.
No, I'm fine.
No, I can hear background noise on your side.
Oh, can you? Let me just shut the door quickly.
Yeah.
You dancing?
Yeah, I'm just entertaining the audience while you're ruffling and shuffling. Are you back?
Right. Yep. Go on. Can you hear anything now?
Yeah. Just get the mic on, and because otherwise I'm gonna hear interference from the audiences too. Ooh, crunchy crunch.
Sorry.
Crunchy crunch. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, we're in. Okay, so she's listing all the expenses that a typical worker would have, right?
$17 a month. She has after-school childcare because the bank is open during normal business hours. That's $450 a month. That takes her down to negative $567 per month. My question for you, Mr. Diamond, is how should she manage this budget shortfall while she's working full-time at your bank?
I love this, right? So think about it. This is the CEO of JP Morgan. The CEO, the leader of the leaders of the leaders of the leaders of people that do wealth management. And she's given this guy a scenario, right, like this, and said, right, how do you advise this person to progress? Let's see what the answer is.
Okay.
I don't know that all your numbers are accurate. That number is generally a starter job.
She is a starting employee. She has a 6-year-old child. This is her first job.
And you can get those jobs out of high school, and she may have my job one day.
Seriously. I mean, he was. I was trying to be devil's advocate here. Yeah, I really was. And then this Wally, and by the way, this guy's not a Wally. He's a very smart guy. He pretty much runs the world if you think about it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely he does.
And oh my God, what a load of tosspot that this guy's speaking right now. But let's get through this, right?
So
She may, but Mr. Diamond, she doesn't have the ability right now to spend your $31 million.
I'm totally sympathetic.
She's short 567. What would you suggest she do?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Would you recommend that she take out a JP Morgan Chase credit card and run a deficit?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Whoa! I mean, Katie Porter came in, guns blazing. Let's get through this.
Would you recommend that she overdraft at your bank and be charged overdraft fees?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
So I know you have a lot
I'd love to call her up and have a conversation about her financial affairs and see if we can be helpful.
See if you can find a way for her to live on less than the minimum that I've described.
Just be helpful.
Well, I appreciate your desire to be helpful, but what I'd like you to do is provide a way for families to make ends meet so that little kids who are 6 years old living in a one-bedroom apartment with their mother aren't going hungry at night because they're $567 short from feeding themselves, clothing them. We allowed no money for clothing. We allowed no money for school lunches. We allowed no money for field trips, no money for medical, no money for prescription drugs, nothing. And she's short $567 already. Mr. Diamond, you know how to spend $31 million a year in salary, and you can't figure out how to make up a $567 a month shortfall. This is a budget problem you cannot solve.
So, Mincy, I'm going to ask a question here, and it's a very, very naive question. How does anybody deserve $31 million a year salary?
Well, that's what I'm going to get into in a bit, right? I'm going to try to justify this. Okay.
Yep.
Right. All right. So this is around the same ilk, right? This sentiment of people are losing their jobs. How can you give a CEO thing, right?
Yeah.
So if we go back to the ASOS situation, this guy inherited a company. So no, he didn't inherit. He applied for a job, 2022, right? Yeah. So let's look at where ASOS was in 2022. ASOS stock. ASOS stock. Right, so I'm going to share this with you so you can see it too. Right. So if we look at the 5-year trajectory of the stock, right? So from 2021, by the time he comes in 2022, let's assume he came in at the very beginning of 2022, stock had gone down 54%. The guy literally inherited a crap sandwich.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And then now we're in 2024.
Yeah, we're nearly at the end of it.
And it's gone down a further 83.5%.
Right.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm not doing well.
So he's obviously had a huge, amazing impact.
I know I'm not doing well so far, right? But
so I was going to say,
Wait. Hold on. All right, cool. So I think the second question we need to ask ourselves here is, what's the standing of ASOS, right? So ASOS is in what index? ASOS stock index. Okay, so let's find out what stock index they're in.
250?
Well, let's see. ASOS FTSE 250. Let's see. Is it a 250, Andrew?
Well, it's shown there, but who knows?
It's been demoted.
250. It's demoted to 250. Yeah, I thought that was.
No, it's from. It's been demoted from.
Oh, demoted from.
Yep.
Okay.
It's dropped off, right?
So it's now at small cap or something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Which is obviously not good, and it's not helping my case here, right?
So
okay.
You're doing well at the moment, is it?
Well, mate, you know what? This is.
Do you know what? When we get to episode 6,000 and we've got billions of viewers, right? I'm not letting you employ the CEO.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I deserve that. Right. Okay. Cool. So let's go to a guide to CEO compensation. So look. So I thought, okay, cool, fair enough. I was like, it's still one of the UK's biggest companies. And Andrew, I guess my real thing is, he's come in. It was already a tanking stock, and he's in the best part of a 2-year delivery cycle on this.
Yeah.
of cost cutting and really operational efficiency is what he had said.
Yeah.
A CEO doesn't make any actual, start showing results are probably until his maybe 3 to 5 years, where you start really seeing. Go on, Andrew.
Completely agree with you.
Okay,
right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let me.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Carry on.
All right. So then I was thinking to myself, okay, so the guy's making 815K. I'm not, and he's probably had stock options as well, right? But it's the stock options that are sinking. And I just thought to myself, well, actually, let's see what the average salary is for these big companies that, the main event companies in respective economies, right? So CEOs often receive base salaries well over 1 million. In other words, the CEO is rewarded, this is from Investopedia, substantially when a company does well. However, the CEO is also rewarded when a company performs poorly, which is what you were saying. On their own, large base salaries offer little incentive for executives to work harder and make smarter decisions. So it's like once you have the salary, you have the salary. It's the manager effect that you said, right? But the truth is, Andrew, whether you like it or not, a CEO salary of 814,000 is very low. And if you're bringing in an A-level player and you are in the FTSE top 1,000 companies of this country, you're not going to be able to retain a CEO, a good CEO that can actually turn around your business for 815. So the truth is this, he was already getting paid lower than most good CEOs get paid. So do you expect, and this is my first rebuttal, if I have a tanking business that used to be great, but then it's going down, and I actually need an A-grade player to come in and really change the direction of this company. What, so just because he's joining a crap sandwich, he should get a crap sandwich salary? So that's so already he was already being paid lower than most CEOs get paid to run big companies. And if there's a talented CEO, of which he's only been in the field for 2 years, so he's not going to really show real operational efficiency that's going to actually lead to higher profits, what do you expect him to do? Like, how are they meant to retain a good CEO? That's my first question to you, Andrew.
Okay. Right, so you mentioned, you said one word that I wrote down.
Oh, God.
And you said good CEO.
Yes.
Right? We have no evidence of that at the moment, right?
All right, well, we
haven't at the moment.
Okay.
And I completely agree with you that, people should be given time. Again, I'll go back to the football analogy. I was the first one screaming about the Arsenal manager in the first year saying he's a load of rubbish, right? But you have to give people time, you have to give people resources for a plan to build out, right?
Yes.
And we're still rubbish, but not as rubbish as we were when I was complaining, right? My problem is, Mincy, that on two things, right? These salaries should be paid to good CEOs. Absolutely, completely agree, right? But the vast majority of the salary should be related to performance.
Okay,
right?
One second,
sorry. And also, there's that human being element of it as well, right? Is to say, look, I'm cutting jobs. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, to make the company more financially viable. The last thing I want to do at the moment, to make sure we don't lose any more morale, is accept a salary increase just yet. I can backdate it, I can put it on freeze, I can put it on hold, etc. Again, I'm naive. I know people don't think like that. I get it, right? But
Andrew, okay,
first of all,
can I ask you a question?
800,000 is no.
Wait, no. But again, this is a guy. So if in fact, why not? For the sake of this exercise, let's Google this guy. Let's actually Google this guy's background, right? Because this goes to my second point. Okay, so if you bear me 1 second, we're gonna Google Jose Ramos.
Yeah.
In fact, we're not gonna Google him. We're gonna go into LinkedIn and we're gonna search for this fella, right? Oh God. Just showing a job offer here. Calmont, ASOS. Let's see, ASOS. This is very personal. I'm actually showing people my profile, but who cares? I don't think I'm that important. Right, so if you just bear me 1 second, I'm going to share it with you, Andrew, so that you can also see it. Right. So, all right, now we're in. So hopefully you should be seeing my LinkedIn. Right, so let's look at his history. Okay, Chief Executive at Salsa, Chief Executive at Esprit, Commercial Director of Food at for Carrefour. He was a project manager at Inditex, right? Let's add this experience together, right? So we've got he was a CEO of Esprit for at least 6 years.
Yeah.
Then he did 2 years at Salsa. Oh, Salsa Jeans, I've heard of them actually. Yeah, quite a big brand. And then now he's on his 3rd year, well, almost coming to his 4th year in ASOS, right? But before that, he was a chief commercial officer, and then he got upgraded to CEO. Andrew, we're talking about a guy that has more than, let's call it 18 years of C-level experience in this trade.
Yeah.
Made his way to the top. Do you
Yeah,
think...
but he didn't exactly work for companies that were struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think...
Esprit is a Chinese company that's, that's been doing well for ages. Their shares have been tanking recently, but that's because of China. Carrefour is a multinational, massive supermarket chain. Yeah, that has been doing well. I don't see any evidence of where he's worked at anywhere and gone, boom, look at this, I've built a company that's been failing and I've made them
right, but Andrew, the point I'm trying to say is this, right? Yeah, I get what you mean, but the point is this: there is a wealth of experience there, and that's what you're paying for. And it's going back to what the guy said, where he was like, well, one day they can be me. These are people that have put decades into their craft, and you're just not gonna be able to retain them if you're paying below normal wages on CEOs, regardless of whether it's 800,000. It's a lot of money to me. It's certainly a lot of money to you, Andrew, right? But again, you got to factor in the following. You got to factor in the fact that CEO jobs aren't available whenever, like they're difficult to come by, especially in the industry that you're thinking. If once he gets fired from this, if he does get fired from this, it's gonna be a while until he lands another gig. It's almost like a football player's mentality. Okay, shrugs his shoulder.
So
doesn't care.
So
okay, doesn't care. The point is,
I'm just saying. So what?
I'm not saying you should feel sorry for him.
If you choose to be a CEO, and these jobs are not easy to get.
I'm not telling you that you should feel sorry for him. I'm just looking at this from a pure standpoint of retention, talent retention. You're not going to be able to retain a CEO that's actually going to make the right changes, regardless of performance today. You're not going to be able to retain that CEO with a below standard salary. And that's really what this really falls down to. If this guy goes and buggers off, what's going to happen to the ASOS share price? Again, what's going to tank even more? Unless they manage to attract an even better CEO. And then what they're going to have to do for that CEO? Fork probably double the amount of the nominal fee. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They've got to get this guy's salary to match normal standards, Andrew. I don't like it. People don't like it. Especially in the nuances of today's economy, but surely you can see that a lot of it can, a lot of it's driven by that as well. I'm just rebuttaling here, right?
No, you said you said some great stuff there. They've got to attract and retain talent, right? But as a CEO, that's his job as well, right? As a CEO, that he has to attract and retain talent. Creative people, people in technology who can help him move forward, make changes that, he may or may not have thought of, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. With headlines like this, he's not going to help retain and attract talent, because all they're going to see is, hang on a second, this CEO has not made any changes. The stock value has gone down. The company's in trouble. They're getting rid of staff, yet he's paying himself an increase. I'm not going to work there. Right, that's exactly what I would think.
Okay, all right. So let's park that for a second, because let's look into the actual what the normal baseline is for CEO.
Well, I look at the FTSE 100, right? Yeah. Do you know the average salary for the FTSE 100 CEO is?
Go on.
4.1 million.
Right, we're going to get into that as well because I've got an article about that too, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go into that, right? But look, all right, let's have a look at the norms, okay? So company boards, at least in principle, try to align compensation to things. Right, so let's look at cash, right? So we know that they make on average $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And then these are the key takeaways, right? Which kind of echo what you're saying. Pay for performance is compensation strategy to align with executive compensation with the company's success. Okay, base salaries for CEOs are often high, but offer little incentive for hard work or skillful management. Bonuses that are linked to the company performance will encourage CEOs to work harder and make and make better decisions for stockholders.
Yep.
Stock auctions can cause CEOs to focus on short-term performance or manipulate numbers, which is why you get
absolutely,
which is why you get sometimes CEOs buying their own stock, even though the stock is a pile of crap. Yeah, it's kind of because then Goldman Sachs or whoever, oh look, the CEO believes in it so much, he thinks it's undervalued, he's buying it. That's where you get share manipulation, right? Executives act more like owners when they have a stake in the business in the form of stock ownership, which is the positive thing, right? Bonuses. A CEO with a £1 million salary may also receive a £700,000 bonus. Where we're talking about a guy that's got 815 foul, and then they've given him a 300 foul bonus. So that doesn't exactly scream, oh my God, you've done so well. Right? So what I'm trying to say is it's in line with the market. Now, if we look at ASOS headlines, right? Let's look at ASOS news for a minute. Because you have challenged me and you said, look, okay, what's this geezer really done? So, let's see if we can unearth something here, right? So, what did he do on the 6th of September 2024? He sold Topshop.
Yep.
So just 3 years after buying the Topshop and Topman, ASOS is selling a 75% stake in the British fashion brand, creating a joint venture with Hearthland. I don't know who they are, right? It says he's gonna accelerate our strategy to both offer customers the best and the most relevant products, and to turn ASOS into a company that delivers sustainable and profitable growth. So he did actually go on, Andrew.
Are you a CEO expert in the retail sector?
Myself? No.
Yeah, I certainly am not either.
Right.
But 3-4 weeks ago, or 5 weeks ago, when we were doing a deep dive on ASOS and Boohoo, what did we say, Nancy? We said, what the hell? What the hell are they buying Topshop for?
Yeah, but Andrew, remember, he's undoing a decision that wasn't done by him.
We could have undone it. We could have undone it if we was there, because we said the same thing. Fair
enough. Oh, okay. All right, touche, Andrew. I mean, this is what this is about, right? Touche.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we're going to explore this, right? So, okay, cool. Fair enough. You poo-pooed me there, right? Okay. All right. Jesus Christ, you're really on a roll here, right?
I told you I had a bad day today.
No. I love it. Okay. Well, then let's look at the yearly performance. Let's see if we can unearth some positive KPIs around this, right? Jesus Christ. All right. Okay. Well, let's look at the stock performance for this given year. What could have possibly merited this? Let's do a 1 year. Okay. So it's flatlined.
Yeah.
It's flatlined. So it's gone from down, right? Yeah? No. It's gone to a rapidly decreasing stock to flatlining. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying here, mate. I'm trying, right? So if we look at the 5-year trajectory, he inherited it at around 2022, and it's still 84% down. Jesus. Listen, I'm trying my bloody best, right?
I know what you're trying to do, and I get it, yeah? The fact is that, you know what, he's not on a huge salary compared to CEOs. I mean, if I tell you the salary of AstraZeneca, Pascal Sariot, it's eye-watering, Mincy. £16.85 million, pounds, not dollars, right? The guy at Rolls-Royce, and you know what, Rolls-Royce hasn't done amazingly, I mean, they've done a lot better since BMW bought them, etc.
Yeah.
£13.6 million pounds, right? GSK, £12.72 million. But these are massive FTSE 100 companies. And when you take that and look at what he's getting, it's not a big amount. All I'm saying is that I'm not picking on him. I'm not picking on
No,
ASOS.
this isn't about him. This episode is about CEO compensation.
Exactly.
Generally, so look, Andrew. Okay, this is the last straw that I have to clutch at, right?
Go on.
So remember when we did the business review? I think 2 episodes ago, Boohoo versus ASOS. One thing that I did say was that ASOS's strategy was much clearer than Boohoo's.
Yes, absolutely agreed.
Okay, yeah, okay,
absolutely
cool. It could be, Andrew. In fact, let's look at when the financial year is. So ASOS financial year. When does it
I'm
begin?
not being funny, but I am not buying that outfit that he's wearing.
Oh, it's horrendous. But what are the results? ASOS financial
October.
It's up to October, yeah?
31st of October.
Okay, brilliant. So I tell you what could also be the case. It could also be the case that
they've done well.
That the accounts that are going to be released in, maybe next quarter, the quarter after, the ones that we haven't looked at, because we were analyzing 2023's accounts, right? Because obviously it's 1 year behind. It could be that he's actually getting to those performance metrics. Because look, if you look at this headline, the online fashion retailer is forecasting underlying earnings to improve by at least 60% to between 130 and 150 in 2024 to 2025. So that
justifies the bonuses.
Right. So let's press pause on our friend Jose, right?
Yeah.
Now, please, audience, reference this. If and when those reports come out, if we're not seeing underlyings of between 30 and 60%, because we can't hold them accountable to full 60%, but if it's significant, if it's in the tens of
he's forecasting, Mency. They're forecasting, not analysts forecasting. They're forecasting.
Right. So if that's the case,
they can't forecast unless they know something.
If these annual accounts come out and these are the results, would you concede that it's justified?
Mency, all I'm saying is performance-related bonuses are 100% justified.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. Right. But what I'm saying is that there's it's the salary hike-ups, when performances. Just to steer away from this a little bit today. So, Ofwat, who are the company that regulates the water companies, have, I think it was today or yesterday, have banned pay increases to the chief executives or senior staff at the water companies, right? Because they're saying that you cannot use public money, i.e. the bill money that they're paying, to pay yourself bonuses. And they've capped it.
See, but that's different because genuinely, mate, it's a commodity market. Yeah, like seriously, and I know maybe this is my ignorance, or maybe one day we will look into like the utilities market, but generally, you're selling water, mate. Like you're selling water. Like what strategy are you talking about? Unless literally you find a way of reducing leakages.
Well, that's exactly. You're right. You're 100% right. It's about reducing leakage. It's about providing, cleaner water.
Yeah, that type of stuff. Take my money and give that CEO a raise. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's
about reducing the cost of delivery to the
consumer.
Right,
but that's different, right? That's different because that's a bit more clear cut and it's an unfair market, I would say. Yeah. However, I think my point would still stand, Andrew, which is you still need to retain those CEOs because otherwise the best talent is just going to go to a finite sector that actually compensates its things well, and that's what happened in the tech industry, where literally like people were just all running towards Google and Facebook, and you know what I'm trying to say, and all these small great companies lost out on a lot of great talent purely because they just couldn't keep up with the salary increases. Right? And we don't want that to happen to the market. We want talent to be dispersed equally across different markets because we need an evenly spread amount of geniuses and great workers to make our companies and our economy great. So I don't know.
Well, maybe, mate, it's because, I'm a salesperson and I've been used to over 30 or whatever years I've been doing it.
Yeah.
that my salary or my earnings has been performance related, right? I.e. commission.
Yeah.
Right. And I just do not see the business logic of paying people bonuses where they have not excelled in their role.
Yeah. But again,
so that's the thing for me.
But again,
and if he
we're
comes
yet
up
to
with
see
60% increase,
yeah,
right. Even then, they should have waited until at the end of the year.
You're right. They could have just written him an intent letter. In fairness, they could have written him an intent letter and said, "You're gonna get this money, right?"
How good would that have been?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
headlines.
Right.
Yeah, ASOS. Earnings increased by 50%. The CEO was rewarded with a blood. It just would have made the whole complete sense.
You're absolutely right. In that sense, yeah. And they could have just given him an intent letter and said, "Mate, you will get this money, but we just need to wait for these earnings to come out."
Exactly.
Because otherwise, like, it just is what it is, right?
Even back pay it, back do it, date it if you have to.
Yeah. In that sense, touche.
That's two touches I've got of you today,
mate. When you're right, you're right, and you are right often actually. But anyway, so I thought, look, I'd kind of conclude this compensations, and I think it's been very educational for me because it's really.
I've really enjoyed today because I think it's been educational, certainly for me.
It's not always what meets the eye, yeah. Like, look. So, audience, Andrew likes to listen to LBC, right? And LBC is a radio show here in the UK, and I bloody hate LBC. But you know what? I'm a capitalist, right? So you know those Wollies that defend rich people. I tend to be that person because I just love capitalism so much, and I get really, really, really antsy when hyper successful people are like chastised just because they just make a lot of money and all that. Because I do think some people deserve. It's gonna be crazy. Don't kill me, audience. I do think some people deserve to be billionaires. I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry. I think about what the CEO of Starbucks did. I read his book, Howard Schultz or whatever his name is. Right. This guy single-handedly changed the whole economics of coffee. Before he came into the game, right, you could only get coffee in a pot, right? Like you couldn't even get properly brewed coffee in a shop. All of that type of stuff he took from Italy and he commercialized it and he made it into one of the biggest companies in the world, to the point where countries like Colombia, right, have benefited. A lot of coffee growing countries, have really benefited, and it created a highly competitive market where we now have Dunkin' Donuts coffee, we have McCafe and all that type of stuff, and it's done wonders for the coffee industry. Should a guy like that be worth billions? In my opinion, yes.
Right. So let me do the opposite side of the coin there, right? So this guy, I agree with you, mate. Not that I like their coffee very much, but I do agree with you. You know, he's come in, he's revolutionised an industry that, let's face it, it's non-existent in the UK, right? I mean, coffee, it was Nescafe Gold Blend if you were posh.
Done.
Right, so I completely get that, right? And, you know, he deserves what he gets, and, well, you know... and I
or like the CEO of Nike, Andrew. CEO of Nike. Everyone was wearing plimsolls, right? And shoes for and then this guy just completely coined a whole different shoe industry. Come on, man, like...
What I don't like, what I can't abide is the non-creative... copy and paste CEO. Oh, this company is struggling, it's failing. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll get rid of all of the lowly paid job people. We'll cut down, we'll close down shops or banks or whatever. We'll get rid of half of our staff. That means our overheads are low. And now the shareholders love it because our stock price has gone up by a couple of %. Give them $10 million bonus. That I cannot abide. There's no creativity there. Anyone could do that. Anyone.
Okay.
And I don't think that is the kind of thing that, you know, they should be raving about. But you know what? It goes back to capitalism, right? We invest in these companies. So at the end of the day, we want to see our investment grow. And if somebody's come in and made that investment grow, we might have a little twinge in our hearts for all of the people that have lost their jobs. But at the end of the day,
Our pensions are pegged on it.
Exactly.
And Andrew, again, look. So back to this LBC thing. So Andrew listens to LBC. I maybe I should be ashamed to say this. I actually listen to a lot of like conservative media because I can't
You
listen.
don't listen to British news, do you?
No, I actually listen to a lot of American conservative media.
Oh, okay.
I do try to like. So you've actually inspired me like maybe a year and a half ago to listen because Andrew and I are very good friends. Well, I hope he considers me a very good friend. I
Can't
consider
stand him. Can't stand him.
but like when you got a really close friend that you think is smart, and then that this person's just consuming completely different media and's got completely different kind of views to you, you go, oh God, like maybe I'm down this pigeonhole of conservative media. So I actually started listening to LBC because Andrew is on LBC every bloody day, right? And I'm listening to these people and I'm talking about every bloody episode is about taking money from one group of people and redistributing it to another. And I can't do that, Andrew. I can't do that. Like, Andrew, you know.
So you listen to the wrong LBC.
I don't know. Every single time something
Marsden. You listen to
something
the chat
Marsden.
show,
The guy's the press. Britain. Britain's ruined.
Yeah.
Britain. Every single day I listen to it. Britain's ruined. Rich people are ruining it. Rich people don't understand what's going on. Poor people need more money. And look, yes, I've been poor. I come from a work. I still consider myself poor. I don't consider myself rich. I consider myself just at the borderline of middle class financially. I'll never be middle class culturally. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I like the idea, right, that I can work my way up to the top. So yeah, some of what this guy from JP Morgan said, I was like, yeah, fair play. Like one day that person, if I would have got into JP Morgan, it's only a matter of years, maybe 5 or 10, until I'm into a real respectable salary that's going to change my life. But I also understand the hardship because I've been part of it too. But I just think the reality sits somewhere in the middle. And I just think when you look at something like this and you go, 800,000, at least have the courtesy to look underneath the hood a little bit and contextualize it, because sometimes we always kind of go towards this idea of it's criminal. Okay, it could be criminal, but still look under the hood before you start pointing fingers. And that's what I've really tried to do with this. So let's look at CEO salaries, the UK trend statistics. Hopefully this will help contextualize.
Let me just quickly talk about LBC one second. So LBC is full of exactly what you said. Occasionally they'll have a good topic that I listen to. But what I like listening to is LBC News. Right, so it gives you a snippet of what's happening, and then I go away and do research, or I'll send you a message or a link or whatever, blah blah blah. And I, like you, I've got fed up with the woe is me, and I said to you, I had a rant about this guy who was talking about pensioners, and all of that sort of stuff. So there is a lot of woe is me on there, but sometimes, people consume information in different ways. You're excellent at reading. You love reading, yeah. I can't remember the last time I read a book from start to finish before I got bored. However, I put my earphones on, a bit of YouTube, a bit of podcast, a bit of radio, whatever, and I get myself up to speed.
Yeah, but I implore to the audience, and this is an exercise that I've been trying to balance it, right? If you listen to Fox News, counterbalance that with CNBC, not CNBC, CNN. Or whatever.
CNN, yes.
If you are listening to Nigel Farage, listen to LBC, please. Like balance it. Don't go down one pigeonhole, because you might find yourself adopting a mentality that's they're all biased views, but somewhere in the middle, you can take something positive from both sides. And that's what I've tried to go with this, because there was a lot of media against this Jose rise, and I was just like, okay, let's see what the context is. So the CEO salaries, right? This is the last piece that I found. So let's look at which CEO earned the most. So we've got Denise Coates. Isn't that the lady from gambling, Bet365? She paid herself $221 million. Yep. This is a lady that runs a conglomerate purely based on gambling.
Yep.
Okay. We've got the CEO of AstraZeneca. I think this is justified. 16.85 billion. Like literally, we're talking about the UK's strongest pharmaceutical company, right? Maybe one of 2 or 3 companies that were solely responsible for rolling out the COVID jab. Whether or not you agree in the COVID jab or whatever, it was an important national infrastructure, national project to get us back in line, and that's what she delivered. She was part of that. Sorry, he was part of that, Pascal. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. Relics, which is a massive company here, 13.64 million. And these are all FTSE. BAE Systems, one of our biggest defense companies, 13.45 million. So like these are the top end of the FTSE 100. Now, if you benchmark,
Do you know what that number for?
Yep.
Yeah, CEO of Rolls-Royce.
Yep.
Turkish.
There you go. Didn't know that. Right.
No, I thought, I know that.
Well, there you
Recognise
go.
that
We
name sounds
learn
Turkish.
something every day. But the point is this, right? This is the creme de la creme of UK. All of a sudden, that 815,000 or whatever it is slightly dwarfed. I'm not justifying anything, but it's just to give you an idea of what the ranges are, right? So what's the average?
Hang on a second. Right. Should we compare the revenue of AstraZeneca with ASOS?
Well, of course. I mean, but Andrew, again, it's a ratio thing, right? We're talking about.
Well, that's what I mean.
We're talking about a pharmaceutical company, yeah, versus a retail clothing brand.
No, I'm talking about ratio, right? You've got a retail clothing brand.
Actually, you know what? That's a great exercise. Do you know what? Thank you, Andrew. Let's find out what the annual revenue was. Right. So pick one. Which one?
Oh, AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca, right? So this was 2023 to 2024. AstraZeneca 2023 2024 revenue.
$45.811 billion.
Right. So, okay, cool. So we're talking 113 million to 46 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
that was
in dollars. That was in dollars, not
okay.
So
okay, well, let's do 40. Let's do 38 billion.
Yeah, 38 billion. Right. So maths is never my kind of strong point, but what percentage are we talking about here? So we're talking. So if we say 17 million pounds out of what was it, 32 billion? What percentage are we talking about here?
2%.
Is that 2%? Yeah.
Yeah, 2.23% if my calculations are right.
Okay, cool. And then if we look at ASOS's ones, so ASOS.
Oh, sorry, no. Go on. Sorry,
I think it's less than that, mate. I think it's 0.02% is what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we took out ASOS annual revenue. I mean, I think this is a silly way. So we're talking about 3.5 billion. So 800. Let's call it 1 million out of 800 out of 3.5 billion. What's the ratio on that?
What's that, about 10%, isn't it?
No way.
Well, hang on. So what was it?
There's 1,000 millions in a billion.
3 billion, did you say?
Yeah, 3.5 billion.
And the salary is?
It's about the same. 815,000. It's about the same. Let's call it 1 million. It's about the same, Andrew. It's about the same in terms of ratios. Anyway, look, let's not get too much into that rabbit hole. But the point I'm trying to say is it's not preposterous. It's in line, right? Now, let's go further into this. So what's the average now? What's the actual average salary of a CEO in the UK? The average salary of a CEO is about 100,000 per year. Jesus Christ, Andrew. Andrew, are you hearing me? Average,
I'm listening.
Average salary of a CEO is £97,000.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm actually quite surprised with that.
Yeah, well.
But again, this is every single company.
There's a lot of CEOs of small, tiny companies. This is
every single company, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. And then, how much does a CEO earn compared to an average worker? So, I mean, it's about 2.7x. Again, I think this is completely skewed. But I don't know, mate.
Menti, honestly, look, listen, if you're a CEO of a company, let's say you employ 100 people, right? right, or 200 people, you're the CEO, you're responsible for 200 families' well-being, number one, yeah, as well as your own. You're responsible for building a business. You're responsible for paying your suppliers on time. You're responsible, you probably work 3, 4, 5 times harder than most of your employees. They go home at 5, 6 o'clock, you're round the clock.
Right.
I completely get it, get it, right? Again, I go back to what I said. I don't begrudge any CEO a pay rise, a bonus, anything like that. However, I think there should be timing. It should be relevant to performance, and it should be a creative CEO that's building something that's, making, not one that walks in, cuts half the staff and says, oh, I've just made us profitable. Anyone can do that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Andrew? My last concession on this is the following. I think the pay is proportional to the standard. I think we could both agree that on that based on the figures we've seen. However, you're absolutely right. I think I kind of argued my way into or out the argument, which is, if anything, the one thing that was wrong with this move is the timing. They could have gone. They could have gone around this. They could have issued an intent letter internally. Sorry, Andrew.
Just occurred to me. Maybe they did it now because they haven't hit targets.
Oh no, that could be another thing as well, Andrew.
You know what?
Because they won't be able to
worse.
justify it afterwards. Well, this is it. Watch the audience.
Watch the space.
Watch this space. That is interesting. That's an interesting take. But you know what, Andrew? I think we should final thoughts it now. Do you have anything else that you might want to cover? But I think we've been at it for about.
I have got something that I want to cover, but it's got nothing to do with this podcast. It's something I want to rant about, but not appropriate.
Well, you know what? Let's leave it to the final thoughts, but leave it to the final of the final thoughts, and then we'll see whether we edit it out.
No. I'm not gonna start it. It's not appropriate.
Okay, so Gran finale.
I'll talk to you maybe offline about it and just give you my opinion.
Right. So Gran finale. I have actually thank you first of all, Andrew. Well, actually no, Andrew. Final thoughts. We'll do it in the normal fashion.
Actually, you know what? I want to thank you, right? Because I think this has been a really interesting segment. It certainly opened my eyes. It certainly made me. I liked your phrase about don't just go, these bloody fat cats, because that's what we do. It's human nature. I like your fact about, you know what? Look under the hood, and it could be, in the end of this month or next month when they release their figures, we're going to go, oh, you know what, the guy deserves it. Or, like I said, maybe they've done it now because the figures haven't. Whatever it is, look under the hood. Love the tip about the governance. I think that's great. And you know what? My biggest thing is, although I saw the Jaguar thing, I couldn't send it to you because I was running around. So I didn't actually look at the logo. You broke my heart, Mincy, today with that logo. I mean, I was thinking, you know what, maybe they've done a different Jaguar or something or other. And then I saw that pink thing, my heart sank because I'm a bit of what they call a petrol head, and I love cars. And I just think they've literally killed a legend. They've killed a legend.
Andrew, sorry, I'll let you finish your thought.
No, that's me. That's me done.
Andrew, I've got a personal story with Jaguar because I told you I tried to sell to them a couple of years ago.
Yes.
I got slightly burnt. Should I tell this story? Would it be career suicide? Nah, best not. Anyway, look, story.
We can talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. Moral story is this, right? I'm not completely surprised. There's some serious changes that need to happen in Jaguar, and this is me not being sour grapes. Like literally, there's headlines about the security of the cars. That's the most stolen. I think Land Rovers are the most stolen cars in the UK. Literally, you got people.
Absolutely.
There's memes of people chaining the cars to trees, right?
Absolutely.
They've had many failings to even hit the electric car market. and it's just been all over the place. And I think that's no mystery. It doesn't take any men's narrative. It's not personal, whatever. I'm generally not surprised, but I really hope, actually, I really hope that this is the water that spills the cup, or I don't know what the drop that spills the cup, that whatever. The point is, I hope that this is.
I thought it was another Colombian saying.
Well, yeah, I was actually translating a Colombian saying, but it didn't work out, right? But I hope that this is the wake up call that they need, and I think it's a soft wake up call. If you were ever to have a wake up call, this branding nightmare could be the thing that just revolutionizes the company. I know they lost. They had a French CEO about a year and a half ago or something like that. That CEO's gone. I think this could maybe make the company wake up. I do wish Jaguar the best, because it's a British company and I am pro-British. I'm in Britain, and I think if you live in Britain, you should be pro-British, especially if you participate in this economy. So it does equally break my heart, and I do wish them the best. And I just hope that this is the wake-up call that they deserve. The second point, for my final thoughts, is actually, Andrew, the reason why I was thanking you was because you've just unearthed something that never interested me, which was that governance piece. Like, I didn't really know how it could ever be important. People talk about the salaries and the compensation things, and I'm just like, nah. But actually, it's super important. And if you think about the game theory that's unraveled in this conversation, like, because I came in and I went, well, Andrew, the reports are coming out. This could be a sign that there's going to be some real good profits coming. And that's the way maybe a Goldman Sachs analyst will look at it and upgrade the stock. But then there's the Russian doll within the Russian doll, like as a theory, where Andrew's gone, but hold on a second, this could just be an artificial lever. No, in fact, I've come out with another. So you've gone, no, they probably issued. They can issue the bonus today because they won't be able to justify it after, when the accounts are that, especially if the numbers are down. But then my third theory is, what if this is just an artificial lever to hint at my initial reaction, which is they must be doing well, and then all the stock analysts go put it as a buy, as a buying signal, and then the stock goes up. So many theories here, and that's what business is about. That's what this whole stock market game is about. It's about, like, have you watched Billions before, where they do all this crazy stuff? And stocks go up, stocks go down. They make companies go bust. There's a lot of it. I mean, this game is like that. It's political, and I think you've just unearthed a whole different layer of thinking in my mind that hadn't been, there before. I used to skip over this, and now I'm just like, wow. So that's why they dedicate 20%. I mean, I've seen 20 pages describing everyone that's on the board. Everyone, the CEO's background, how they're compensated, how many shares they've been issued, all of that type of stuff I used to skip over. Now I'm like, wow, I might just be interested in reading this in the future. So that's why I was thanking you, because you've unlocked a whole different dimension of thinking in the way I think of businesses.
You're very welcome.
And hopefully for the audience, we brought a new subject to the table that may not have been of interest, and we could be a bit richer for it now, Andrew.
Yeah. I mean, I know, we've got a few people that watch every now and then, and thank you for doing that, guys. It would be great just to comment. You guys are a bunch of Wollies. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Or love to get your thoughts on this. Or this is my opinion on what you've done, and we'd love to follow up on it. We'd love to dig a little bit deeper. As you were seeing today, we've gone backwards and forwards, and we came to a conclusion. And sometimes we're not always right. We do concede, and it's what it's about. We're not giving expert opinion. We're giving our opinion, and it's it's researched, and then we sort of translate that to the videos. But I just would love to hear some other people's opinions as well. And if it is, Andrew's really handsome, but you don't know what you're talking about, I'll take that.
Andrew, Andrew, I'm really looking forward to the follow-up on this episode because now I'm looking forward to these accounts.
Absolutely.
I'm actually like, this is going to be like the Super Bowl for me, just to figure out
Well,
who's
isn't
right.
it funny, Mincy, that, you know, you decided, I think, 4 or 5 episodes ago that you were going to dig into Boohoo and ASOS. And before that, we had a little moan about the retail sector. And this retail thing isn't going away. And you know, well, you know, because it's interesting, you know, and if we don't make it as you know, as YouTube super duper whatevers, which we're not, but we could, you never know, be retail analysts in a few years' time.
You never know. You never know.
You never know.
All right, audience. Well, thank you for listening. And let's do the outro music, which also happens to be the intro music. I don't get tired of saying that.
No.
Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.